You only have one life to live. If they are good people and they are good for you, then they're pulling you up. But if they're negative, toxic people who are pulling you down, bad for you, bad for your wife, bad for your kids, bad for your future, then what are you doing? It's probably a toxic, twisted relationship between the two of you. Start to cut it off. You need to insulate and starve these relationships. You need to cut the negativity out of yourself like you're cutting the cancer out of your body, because that's what it is. It's infecting you. I remember 5 years ago going to this golf tournament, and I was with a bunch of guys from this golf league I was in, and it was like a weekend thing, and I just felt bad. I just didn't feel good. It was my environment. It was the people I was around. They were all drinking. They were all bitching about their wives. Everyone's life, as they told it, was in misery. Everyone was out of shape. Everyone was sleeping in, eating, drinking all they wanted to, and then I was there, and there was such a pull to be like them. It's the environment. That environment was toxic to me, and it was pulling me down. And I remember that being one of the defining moments where I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be like these people. And also, as a teacher, there were few teachers who were really disciplined, went after it, and were hustling and put their blinders on, became all they could be as a teacher and outside. But a majority of the people where I worked were very negative, toxic, and didn't want to be there. There were some great people. I had some great friends there and some people who were excellent human beings. But there was a lot of people who were very negative, jaded, toxic, always talked about wanting to quit, wanting to leave. And I'm sure some of you have work environments like that, where everyone's bitching about being at work, but no one's trying to leave work. Everyone has every excuse in the book about why they could never make it work, why everyone who does make it work is cheating, or they have it made somehow, they were gifted money, or blah, 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 how everyone's in shape, is lucky, must be nice to be them. And I remember systematically cutting these people out of my life at work. I was like, nope, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Nope, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. As I changed and became more of a positive person, I didn't want their energy infecting me anymore, because I could feel my soul leaving my body. It was like, one of those ring wraiths just pulling my soul out of my body, being around these extremely toxic people. I remember showing up to work, and this one guy would always hound me. This is like a decade ago. He would always hound me about the latest political toxic thing that was happening. Hey, did you hear what Joe Biden? Hey, did you hear what Donald Trump? Hey, did you hear? It's like, dude, it's 6:30 a.m. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't affect you one bit. Stop letting these outside forces control you. But it was every single. So eventually I just started kind of parking somewhere else, showing up at a different time, or walking quickly so I could avoid him, because I didn't want his negative energy pulling me down. And one by one, I cut these people out of my life because I didn't want them infecting my brain, because that is what happens. I'm talking about environment. That's what we're talking about on this podcast. The massive, massive impact that your environment has on you and how it's controlling you. How there are unseen forces holding you back that you're not even aware of. Your environment is your destiny. Willpower alone is not enough. And that is a huge lie that people sell you. It's really big in the men's space. There's a lot of memes and male accounts and alpha male stuff that talks about, well, you need to go alone in the forest for 30 days, find yourself. It's only worth it if you do it alone. You're only a true man if you go out and you are able to find willpower on your own and complete this project or task and climb the mountain on your own. Only then is it really worth it to you. And that toxic, negative mindset has infected so many of us to our extreme detriment. It has crippled guys with mental health problems, with depression, stress, anxiety, loneliness. It's deprived them of one simple sentence from a man who's been there, who can help them up. I see this every single day in my group. Guy just joined us yesterday, came and I said, you don't understand what the environment's like until you're actually in there. I can tell you about it, but you won't understand. Came in, shared his story, boom, just surrounded by support. Guy say, man, I've been there too. We got you, brother. We're locking arms. He's like, oh my God, I've never in my life, in my 40 years, ever experienced this kind of support and love from other guys. It's like, hey, you don't know what you don't know. But it's like going into a smoke-filled room. You cannot walk into a smoke-filled room, walk out, and not take the stench with you. Whoever is in your circle of friends or circle of people at work that you associate with, the podcasts you listen to, the voices in your head, the group chats you participate in, that is the smoke that is going to be stuck on your clothes. People are going to find out. It's like trying to hide the fact that you're smoking cigarettes from your wife. She knows. She does the laundry. She can smell it in your socks. You cannot wipe the stench of your environment off of you. It's your group chats, Facebook groups, everything you're involved in, the memes you share, Instagram direct messages, all of these are the smoke that fills your room. Is it positive smoke? Is it full of people who are saying, yes, Chris, anything is possible for you. I believe in you. You can attack that dream. You can become all you can be. No, I'm not going to buy your excuses and bullshit. You can be disciplined and attain anything you want. Or is it people saying, nah, that guy was able to quit and start a business because he lucked out. Nah, that guy's in shape because he's probably on steroids. This guy, blah, blah, blah. He has money, but it's not really great. You think he's happy, but he's really not. He's not smart like that. It's just negative, toxic people pulling you down. Is that the smoke that fills your room? People bitching about their wives. People bitching about their kids. Instead of saying, how can I be a better father today? The people in your circle are saying, man, my kid's such an asshole. Very different. People saying, how can I better emotionally respond to my child when they are being an asshole? Instead, they're saying, no, my kid's an asshole and I hate him for it. I'm going to go off on a boys' trip this weekend to avoid my family. My wife's such a jerk. She never appreciates me for anything I do. I provide for the family. I do this. I deserve blank. Is your circle full of people who say that? Is that the smoke that fills your room? The lie is that willpower alone is enough. It's not enough. And anyone selling you that is just seeking your sympathy. They're seeking easy points from you. That's the noble lie. It's, oh yeah, well, you can go off on your own. You can be that monk in the woods. Every guy secretly wants to be a monk. We all want to be that Buddhist monk who can, be celibate for 12 months straight, have the discipline and power to do that, fast for 30 days, not talk to anyone. We all have this romantic idea of that guy. No, life's not that great. How about you're the man who connects with other people and you're a warm, loving, connected man who has the power and ability to lift up an infinite amount of souls? That sounds pretty damn good to me. That sounds like what a father and a leader does. He's not a guy who isolates himself so he can find this enlightenment by himself. He's a guy who shares his enlightenment. He practices his discipline at 4 a.m. in the morning so he can share his wisdom, energy, and enlightenment with the rest of the world. That sounds like a leader to me. That's what a disciplined leader does. That's what the father does, the husband does. That's the man we strive to be. But if you go on a lot of social media accounts and a lot of men's spaces, there'll be the meme of the lion. He's got blood dripping from his eyes. And he's like, if you want to really get it done, you got to isolate yourself for 90 days. Don't tell anyone what you're doing and come back. Or it's some picture of Leonardo DiCaprio in black and white, and he has no idea people have posted 1 million memes of him today and co-opted his face for these ridiculous alpha male memes and messages. And I don't have a problem with alpha males. I think men should be alpha. I think guys should be leaders, strong, blend, leading the charge, leading their families, leading businesses. I'm talking about the toxic, the negative, the middle school boy version of what it means to be a man. The selfish leader instead of the selfless leader. The guy who says, I've worked so hard all week, and because I am the father, that means I get to sit on the couch, drink beer, and watch football all weekend. Instead of wake up early, go to the gym so I'm healthy and energized, present and patient with my family, take them to the pumpkin patch. That kind of selfless leadership instead of selfish leadership. I'm talking about, I don't want to be the selfish father. Any of these extremely successful people that you see, they're all in groups. They all have coaches, or they're in masterminds, or they have a group chat with other successful people, or they're in networking groups, business groups. They go to conferences and events, and they meet other people. Nobody is building success in their life on an island. That is the great lie. Anyone you look up to, they have people in their life who fill their head. And if they're extremely successful, they're not listening to people who are unaccomplished. They're listening to people who are more accomplished than them to raise them up. But many men are told to isolate, to go alone, and that crushes them. That's the worst thing you can do. If you want to suffer more, isolate. That's my command to you. You want to be in more pain? You want to be more depressed, more stressed out, more anxious? You want to be less patient, less present? A worse father, a worse husband? Make less money? Be a worse business leader? Then isolate yourself. Don't talk to people. Go off alone. Live up to this fantasy in your head where you have to figure out alone. You do that, guaranteed hell for you. I can promise you that. Here's a specific example. Guy comes into our group. He thinks he's the only one in the world who went through this specific problem. Okay, we had a guy come in, went through some massive business trauma years ago, humiliating, embarrassing business trauma. He's like, he shared it with the group. Immediately, boom, some guy said, hey man, it's okay, I went through that too. It's like, what? You did too? You could see his face light up. His peace just melted all over his face. He was happy. I said, yeah, I went through it too. Here's what I did. And he gave him the game plan, gave him the blueprint. This is what I did. I was down in the pit, and then I got myself up. That's how quick it can happen. Just imagine your business is really, really struggling. You've been struggling for years with one specific thing that you don't know. You've been YouTubing everything, you've been Google searching everything, and you cannot find the answer. But you find this business mentor. And he's failed 20 times at the thing that you're currently failing on that's keeping you stuck. But he knows a solution. He can tell you that solution in one sentence. He goes, Chris, I know. I did it. Just do this. And that one sentence wipes away a decade of failing and stress. That's the power of connecting with people who are where you want to go. Isolating yourself and insisting on going alone it's selfish behavior that insists on you staying stuck forever. That's what it is. You want to move ahead? Find other guys. Find other groups. You want to stay stuck? Insist on going alone. There's no bonus points to you for going alone. You just take a lot longer to get to where you want to go. And you want to be respected? All the people you respect have people helping them. Everyone you look up to has people helping them. They're in groups, they're in brotherhoods, they're in programs, they have coaches, they have mentors, they're in group chats, they have conferences they go to, networking events. They all surround themselves with people who do exactly what they want to do so that they can get ahead. No one is on an island. That's the lie. It's not happening. The people that are people struggling. So yeah, some people are on an island. They're the ones struggling and are telling you to go on an island so you can share in their hell. They don't want to be the only ones living in hell. So here are different ways. These are some of the unseen ways, the unseen hells and powers controlling you because of your environment. We have the choice in every relationship to be the thermometer or the thermostat. You as a father in your home, you as the business leader in your business, wherever you are, in every room, you can either be the thermostat or the thermometer. What is that? The thermostat tells you the thermostat can control the temperature of the room. You can make it colder, you can make it hotter, you can make micro adjustments. It is in control of the temperature of the room. The thermostat controls the temperature of the room. You can make it hotter, you can make it colder. You are in control of the temperature of the entire room and the entire environment. You can make people feel amazing. It's a hot, sunny day outside. It's humid. You turn on the air conditioning. You make the thermostat go lower. You just controlled the environment and made everyone in your house happier. You can make it hotter, make everyone more miserable. It's a hot day. You turn that thermostat up. You just made everyone more miserable. That's the power you have being the thermostat. The thermometer just reflects what's happening. If it's hot in the room, the thermometer shows that it's hot. It is a reflection of the environment. You as a father, as a leader of your business, as a leader wherever you are, this is what you can be. You have the decision to be one of those two things. The guy who is a victim of his environment is the thermometer. He walks into any room and, like a people pleaser, yes man chameleon, he just reflects what's happening. Or he's the guy who has no discipline and control over himself, who comes home from work, walks into a chaotic, stressful home, and becomes chaotic and stressful, and then amplifies the fire that's happening in his home. He walks into a hot house, he creates a fire, an explosion, and makes it even hotter, makes it even more hellish for everyone. That's the father who's undisciplined, has no willpower, no self-control. He's a thermometer. He's just reflecting what's happening and even amplifying it. The father that is a thermostat walks into a chaotic, uncontrolled, crazy home, and he's able to turn the temperature down. He's like, okay, my wife's stressed out, the kids are acting crazy like they always do. That's okay, Dad's home. Everything's okay because Dad's home. And he turns the temperature down. He calms everyone down. Breathes slowly. He has strategies. He has self-discipline. He's not reactive. He doesn't add to the chaos. He steals the chaos. He gets rid of the chaos because Dad's home and everything's okay. That's the difference between being a thermometer and the thermostat. This has a massive impact on your wife. She wants to be married to the thermostat. She wants that burden taken off of her shoulders so that she can relax. She wants to know that when Dad comes home from work, everything's going to be okay and stress won't be added. She's not thinking, all right, the kids are acting crazy right now. We've got bills that are behind. We've got mortgage, all this stuff. The house is in chaos. I hope everything is okay so Dad doesn't flip out. Dad flipping out, everyone having to be on best behavior and walk on eggshells to not offend or upset Dad, means that Dad is that thermometer. He has no self-discipline, no willpower, no self-control. He cannot control himself in a chaotic environment. He reflects the chaos, all because of a lack of self-control. The thermometer dad, the thermostat dad, can walk into that chaotic room and relieves the burden. He takes the stress off the wife. He says, it's okay. I'm home. Don't worry, babe. I got it. Things are good. I'm so sure of myself. I'm so confident, so disciplined. I took care of everything today. All the bills are wrapped up. All the emails are taken care of. I'm shutting down. You've got all of me right now. So don't worry. We're in this together. That is the thermostat dad. And the children, they also want the thermostat dad. They don't want to have to walk on eggshells. Your children should be free to be themselves. Your children should be free to mess up. They should be free to be loud and crazy and chaotic. They should be free to make you upset. They should be free to make a mess at times. And then you teach them how to fix these things in a calm, controlled way. You don't see imperfection, and in an uncontrolled rage, you snap at them. The thermostat dad is able to give his kids the space to be imperfect so they can be raised in an imperfect environment and learn the necessary skills they need to be successful. The only way they can do that is if they're allowed to make mistakes. The child that is so terrified of his father reacting negatively to him does not have the space to learn because he's too afraid to make a mistake. He's like a child who, wants to learn how to eat spaghetti with his fork, but every time he drops the fork, the father screams at him. So he's like, I'm just not going to learn how to use the fork because I don't get screamed at. So he grows up using his hands to eat spaghetti. It's the exact same thing. I started off talking about the walking into the smoke metaphor. That is the perfect metaphor. You cannot wipe the smoke off of whatever room you walk into. For men, it's, this is my group chat. These are the guys that are sending me memes. Are they sending you Rising Father memes, Jocko Willink memes, memes on discipline, how to be a better father and husband? Or are they sending you memes on why my wife is such a jerk? On whatever the case may be, toxic things, only negative political things, things that are enraging you, doom scrolling memes. Is that the smoke that fills you? Our brain normalizes whatever behavior we see most often. So whatever you're consuming, that becomes normal to you. What is the normal in your life? If you're a guy in Men of Fire, your normal is, okay, every morning I get up 4 or 5 a.m. I'm posting a screenshot of my wake-up time. I get my workout in by 6 a.m. My meals are prepped. I'm serving my family. I'm leading selflessly. I'm going to get on this Zoom call and talk to 20 guys about how, hey, we can be a better husband and father. I'm going on retreats and doing workouts with guys from all around the world. We're obsessed with being inspiring, selfless leaders. Like, that's your normal. So if you think about that 24/7, 365 days a year, who do you become versus the guy who goes to work, talks to negative person after negative person, or he's the negative person, and just surrounds himself with a sea of toxic negativity? Everyone's bitching about their wives. Everyone's complaining about their kids, talking about how bad their finances are, how there's no hope, no opportunity out there in the world. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to be Elon Musk? Wouldn't it be nice to be blank? And every aspiration the little boy inside of him has is crushed by negative voice after negative voice. Where does that guy end up 12 months from now? Who does he become? I can tell you, a very different person. Purely by the fact of surrounding yourself with people who are above where you are pulled towards them by a universal force of attraction. Because you see this other guy doing what you thought was impossible, except he's human, he's a father, he's a man just like you are. If he can do it, you can do it too. And even better, he just offered to help you do it. I've seen it with tons of guys that I work with. They're like, hey, I want to start a business. The successful business owner says, great, I'm going to send you a DM. Let's chat. What if the guy in this man's DMs who wanted to start a business, it wasn't a successful business owner, it was his toxic brother-in-law who's like, nah, dude, that's a scam. You can't do that. No, don't try to start a business. It's not going to work out for you. You don't want to give up your pension, do you? You don't want to give up your health benefits, do you? That's something I heard from teachers whenever I was thinking about quitting my job. They're like, are you sure you want to quit your job and give up your health benefits? I said, yes, I will lose my health benefits, but what am I gaining? I can always buy health benefits. I can't buy a new life. I can't buy peace and satisfaction. And do you think it's not possible to make more money than I am right now as a teacher? That's the thing. A lot of whatever work environment you're in, some people get so sucked into it. That smoke-filled room is the ceiling of is a ceiling of what's possible for them. I see with teachers all the time, like, yeah, the most I could ever be is a principal, like in my life, because in their room, in their environment, principal is the top of it. Not thinking, hey, I could quit today, join this business, do any job, and in 2 years work my way up to management, to something else, and be making 3 times as much money 2 years from now if I change my environment. It's like a child who is raised, it's a child who's raised by parents who aren't business owners and don't encourage that kind of thought and say, no, you should only be working a 9 to 5 forever. You should only be looking at these safe, easy, secure jobs where you get a salary, you get pension, you get benefits. Don't even try to invest in yourself. Don't take risks. Don't do any of that kind of stuff. That stuff's not going to work out. Do the safe thing that I've done and the 10 generations before me. That's his environment. That's all he knows. Versus the guy whose dad says, no, you can absolutely start a business. That's what I'm doing to my son. He doesn't have to go to college. I already told him that. You might hear that and say, what? Blasphemy coming from a teacher, former teacher. Yeah, I already told him. I said, you don't have to go to college. I also told that to my daughter. I said, you don't have to go to college either. She wants to. She wants to be a music teacher like her mom right now at 9 years old. That's what she wants to do. She wants to go to college to become a music teacher, and she said she's going to teach with her mom. So that's her plan. Nathan, he wants to be a business owner like his dad. He already started his little lawn care business, making some cash there. But he's like, yeah, Dad, by the time I'm 18, I'm going to be doing this and this and this. That's his world because that is his environment. What is your environment, and what environment are you creating for your children? What secondhand smoke are they taking with them? Whenever your children go to school, what is the smoke that is on them that they're taking with them? Is it anger, negativity, judgment, the wrath of the father, the judgment of the father, the demeaning comments of the father? Or is it, hey man, I believe in you, you're smart, you try hard, you're a grinder, you're a hustler, you're going to make tons of friends today, love you, son. Is that what the smoke he's taking to school? Here's a third analogy to put it into perfect perspective, and that is a river current. Your environment is a current. You're either fighting it, you're drifting with it, or you have intentionally chosen a current that carries you towards your goals. Your environment is a river. I'm going to say that one more time. Your environment is a river. You are either fighting it, you are drifting with it, or you are intentionally choosing another current that takes you towards your goals. Trying to be a disciplined guy while being surrounded by undisciplined people is like trying to swim upstream in a powerful river. It is impossible. You are going to be swept by the current. Your group chat is like the river. Are you the one person who wants to be disciplined in your group? Are you at the top of your little circle, except you know you're underperforming and everyone around you is the current pulling you down away from your potential? That happens to many, many men. And everyone who's around them says, oh, you're doing great, Chris. No, you don't have to try harder. No, you don't have to try harder. You're doing enough. That's the negative current sweeping you downstream. All these voices saying you're doing enough. You're good enough. Don't try harder. You've reached enough goals. Yeah, you've reached enough goals for them. If you were them, they would have quit years ago. And they don't want you to go any higher, any further away from them, because it makes them feel bad about themselves. So yeah, they are the current that's pulling you down. It's the Facebook groups you're in. It's the group chats. It is the podcasts you listen to. It's the programs and brotherhoods you're in. There are some men's groups out there that are a negative current. There's even some church groups out there that are a negative current. I know, blasphemy, right? But I have guys in my group that came to my retreat last April telling me specific examples. They're like, hey, yeah, you know this brotherhood or this men's program? They're like, I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, we just bitched about our wives, and every time we got together, we just drank. It's like, oh, okay. It's not what I expected. Another guy said, yeah, I had to leave my church group because all we did was sit around and complain once a week about our situations. We never fixed anything, and we just ate a bunch of junk food and ended up drinking. So I don't care what label you put on your group. If you are not practicing discipline, if you're surrounded by slop, you will become slop. In every single facet of the world, there's good parts and bad parts. I know some fantastic disciplined men's groups and programs. I know some fantastic disciplined church groups that are action-filled and actually do transformation, but I also know some that are full of very toxic, negative, undisciplined, sloppy people in everything. So the people who are in it, the people who are running it, the perspective and philosophy in culture of the group that matters. Is the purpose here transformation, or is it just circling your problem in information? Whenever you are in that group chat or surrounded by negative people who are undisciplined, you are the guy who's fighting the current if you are trying to improve yourself. So if you're trying to improve yourself and be disciplined and everyone around you is saying you're good enough, don't do this, let's go party, then you're fighting the current. It's exhausting, it's unsustainable, and it leads to failure. You are trying to push a boulder uphill. Or you could be the guy who's drifting with the current. Easy, comfortable, and leads to mediocrity. You can be the guy who everyone around him is saying, nope, you're good. You've reached this age. Stop trying. Look, I've done it, so why are you doing it? No, don't spend time with your family. Come out and do this. No, don't go to the gym. Sleep in. You're around all these mediocre, complacent, average people, and you say, yeah, that sounds easier to me, and you end up drifting along with the current. So you're not fighting it. You're drifting with it. The guy who's fighting it isn't even staying still. He's slowly moving backwards. The guy who's drifting with the current is flying backwards. He's the guy who goes from age 30 to 40 but looks like he aged 20 years. Or he goes from 40 to 50 and it looks like he aged 30 years. Or you can just get out of the river and choose a different current like I did. It was, nope, I'm going to stop talking to you. I'm going to park in a different parking lot. I don't want your negativity filling my head. I'm not going to eat in the teacher's lounge anymore. I'm not going to listen to these YouTube people anymore. I'm not going to be in this group anymore. I'm going to choose this coach, choose this men's group. I'm going to listen to these Zoom calls, these podcasts and books, and I'm going to join jujitsu. As soon as I joined jujitsu, all of a sudden I was surrounded by successful people who were very disciplined, going after life, and were okay beating the crap out of each other and were kind and humble afterwards. I said, no, it's okay. Here's how you can beat the crap out of me even more. And here, let's work on technique. Let's stay afterwards. Hey, let's meet up later. I've got a whole group of people that are supportive, successful, and disciplined. That is choosing a different river. I also chose a different river when I decided to finally invest in myself and join a business group for the very first time. I was all of a sudden surrounded by people younger than me who were making 10 times as much money. And I said, I didn't think that was possible. I only thought what was possible is what was in my little world of teaching. I didn't know you could just set up this digital asset and monetize it and make money. I didn't know you could create an ad agency. I didn't know you could improve these skills and in 6 to 12 months do this. Exploded my world. Then I hired a coach and that exploded it. And then I joined a men's program for discipline and those things, and that exploded it too. I chose a different current, and after a couple years passed, I was unrecognizable because now I chose a current that was going upstream. Instead of battling, first I was drifting down current, then I was battling it, and then I jumped out of the current, and I started swimming upstream with the current. I was drifting with a good current instead of fighting a bad current. So if you want to choose a different river, it requires a decisive, upfront choice to place yourself in an environment, a mastermind, coaching program, new peer group of guys who are excelling and disciplined at a high level, where their current level of high standards carries you forward instead of pulls you backwards. So here's what to do. We've explained some of these things. Here's a battle plan for you. So stop trying to willpower your way out of a hostile environment. You must become the architect of your life. You want to be the designer of your life, the man who's deciding what he's doing with his life. Do not be the victim of your life. Don't be the victim of your environment. So here's the 3 steps. Step 1, the brutal audit. This has got to be brutal. You do this by yourself. You don't share this with anybody. This is something that is going to be personal to you. And if you're somebody who's fighting a current, the people in your current aren't going to want to read this. So you need to write down the names of the 5 people you spend the most time with, okay? So that's step 1. Who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with? And then you need to be radically honest with yourself. Are they pulling me up or are they pushing me down? Are they pulling me up or pushing me down? If you're surrounded by people who are pulling you up, spend more time with them. Say, hey, what are you doing? Can I join you in this? Can I go to the gym early with you? Can I do this thing? If you're surrounded by people who are pushing you down, you slowly start to separate yourself. You only have one life to live. You don't be mean to them. You don't cast them out. You don't have to. If they are good people and they are good for you, then they're pulling you up. But if they're negative, bad, toxic people who are pulling you down, bad for you, bad for your wife, bad for your kids, bad for your future, then what are you doing? Then it's probably a toxic, twisted relationship between the two of you. Start to cut it off. And that's step 2. You need to insulate and starve these relationships. You need to cut the negativity out of yourself like you're cutting the cancer out of your body, because that's what it is. It's infecting you. It's exactly what I did. I wasn't mean to these people that I stopped talking to. I just said, I'm choosing me over you. I'm choosing my family over you. When I saw them in the halls, I wasn't mean to them. I even talked to them. I made some small chat. But I didn't go hang out with them anymore. I didn't go after school and go to the bar or whatever they wanted to do. I parked different places. I didn't go on the trips anymore. I said, no, because this isn't just about you and you deserving something from me. This is about whenever I'm with you, I feel bad about myself. And then it puts me in a bad mood, and your thoughts are becoming my thoughts, and your words are becoming my words. Your opinions are starting to leak into my opinions, and the way you talk about your wife, I'm starting to hear myself think that way about my own wife. So me spending time with you is hurting my wife, and the way you speak about your hatred for your children, those words are bouncing around my subconscious. And I don't want to think about my kids that way. So I owe you nothing. I owe my family everything. Because of that, I'm going to starve this relationship and I'm going to cut you out. Step 3 is to seek and build. Actively seek out men who are leaders. Actively seek out men who are the thermostats. You're undisciplined, you're reactive, you're uncontrolled, you're not patient, you're not present. You want to be around guys who are successful in these areas. You need to actively seek them out. You can't just sit still and say, woe is me, I'm lonely, I have no friends. No, you have to be the first person. It's like what I tell my kids whenever they go to school. I said, nobody owes you friendship. You know who has friends? The person who's the first person to smile and say hi. I said, Nathan, that's what I want you to be. Lauren, I want that to be what you are. Today, whenever you're going to school for the first day of school, smile, be the first person to say hi to people. Go and sit next to that person at lunch. They've both got tons of friends. But we've been doing that with them for years, since they were 4 or 5 years old. We'd go to a playground and I say, go up and talk to that kid. Say, hi, but Dad, I'm nervous. That's okay. Do you want friends? Go up and say hi. If they're not for you, they're not for you. We just keep on going down the line. Nathan's going into middle school. He's going to start going on the dates. 8th, 9th grade, whatever, I don't know, whatever age they do that. Same thing. Nathan, you're not choosing your wife right now. You got to get better at the skill of talking to girls, dating. You just got to get better at that skill. So you're going to go up, say hi. Hey, you want to go on a date? Nope. Okay, fine. You got to get better at this. Speaking to people, making friends. It's on you. Do not play the victim. Take ownership and accountability of your environment. You have to actively seek people out to improve your environment. You cannot isolate yourself and say, woe is me, come save me. That is the ultimate victim mindset. Woo-hoo, why is nobody rescuing me? No, nobody owes you anything. And that is the ultimate empowering thought. You are in complete control of your life. You're also in complete control of your environment. Go surround yourself with people who want the best for you. You're like, yeah, there's no one out there like that. That's what you believe. In your life, that is absolutely true. There's no one like that. But you can absolutely change that if you surround yourself intentionally by people. I can tell you in Men of Fire, we're surrounded by people who are actively helping each other out in an unbelievably generous and selfless way. Guys who want to see you be a better person. So yeah, those people are out there. That's why the gates to get into my group is so high. The filter's so high. I don't want you in if you're going to be a negative toxic Cancer. You got to go through me. You got to go through a process to get into this group. But once you're in, yeah, you're surrounded by the unbelievable best of the best people. That's why it's not like a free group to get in. I don't want free group people in my group. I want guys who are committed, all in, guys who are willing to invest in themselves, guys who are obsessed with being the best fathers, elite fathers. You get around elite fathers, guess what you become? Elite. So step 3 is actively seek these people out. So I'm going to end with this. Your environment is massively important to you. Heed these words. It changed my life. People out there that are very successful have intentionally crafted their environments to make themselves successful. It's a massive part of it. Nobody's doing it alone. That is a lie. Willpower alone is a lie. You can build your willpower, you can develop it, but willpower alone is not enough. You must have a rock-solid foundation of people propelling you. So choose that. It's the best thing you could do for you, and it's the best thing you could do for your family.